The United States marks the second decade since an act of terror shook not only that country but the world. The September 11th attacks and the events that unfolded thereafter have changed how the world works, lives and even views terrorism. The recent events in Afghanistan have brought to the fore new issues for many countries like Kenya, who share experiences in the fight against terror. Leila Mohammed has that report.
The exit of U.S. forces from Kabul in the wee hours of August 31st, 2021 marked the end of an era for a relationship that has seen blood, tears and sometimes great moments over the last 2 decades. The events after the September 11th, 2001 attacks in New York and Washington, D.C. saw a military intervention in Afghanistan, one that has similarities with Kenya's war on terror.
There seems to be a resurgence of extremist elements, terrorism, recruitment, intimidation, and even celebration of groups like the Taliban that has now taken over the government in Afghanistan. And so what Kenya needs to do is to refocus, pay more attention, particularly paying attention to the ideological foundations to terrorism and violent extremism.
In the last 20 years, countries like Kenya have had a closer relationship with violent extremism and has invested widely in counter-terrorism due to threats within and across the border. Experts say that it has faced similar challenges to other countries that have played active roles in countries that have a huge pool of insurgency.
What 9/11 did was that it actually changed the way states related to each other. It changed the way nations went about their daily activities. The introduction of the global war on terror then and its continuation for 20 years until today is something that had tremendous impact on the relations between states and nations, particularly in the security sector.
The tactics keep evolving. In 2020, London-based Institute for Strategic Dialogue ISD monitored, tracked and analyzed the content and linkages between websites, social media platforms and messaging apps exploited by the Al-Shabaab.
There are a lot of activities in the dark web. There are a lot of activities in the open web. What governments should do, and what the Kenyan government should do in this case, is to go on the offensive, get strategies that are going to work on this web, whether it's the dark web or the normal web, and put the extremists on their defense.
The reported upcoming handover from AMISOM to Somali security forces draws parallels with Afghanistan. The two countries have relied heavily on foreign assistance missions to rebuild broken institutions. The African Union Mission in Somalia, AMISOM, and the United Nations Assistance Mission in Afghanistan both aim to build the state's capacity to sustain the rule of law.
One particular aspect of it is that Somalia risks to be the ASTAN, Africa's Afghanistan, if the government there is not going to put its house in order, ensure stability, carry out elections. Al-Shabaab might just march to Mogadishu as Taliban did march to Kabul.
Hopefully, this isn't a ticking time bomb. Over time, life has had to change due to the evolving nature of terrorism. Experts believe that life as we knew it may never be the same. Leila Mohammed, NTV.